loser of this. That I mean, the last opponent I believe they have to play, at least Java, is Wings. And Wings is an extremely difficult opponent to play. Now, Buckeye still has a few more, so even if Buckeye does happen to lose this one, things could still happen, but I'm going to predict that the winner of this moves on to playoffs.
Both players mentally... Yeah, you need a little bit of mental preparation time when you're going into this one. I mean, tiebreakers are inherently nerve-inducing.
Dark Wolf, do you have any thoughts on this song in particular? Because I'm sure you've played it at least once.
I do. In my opinion, I think the first solo is a lot harder than the second one, but that's partially because of, like, I mean, just sort of warming up and acclimating to how fast Buckethead is moving in these runs. It's very one-handy. We're going to see a lot of fret work from both sides.
Yeah, you would think that kind of leans potentially in Buckeye's favor. But the question is...
I would say so.
How much pathing happens in this?
It depends on really... Yeah, like Buckeye missing under star power could be a massive detriment.
One thing we also have to consider is Java's tiebreak record is not good. I think he's won one, maybe two ever out of 9 or 10, something like that. I don't have the exact stat, but traditionally Java has not done well on tiebreakers, so hopefully that's not playing too much on his mind.
There's just, the fact that Java's made it to 10 tiebreakers still says a lot.
Yeah, it does. Now, unfortunately for Java, does represent the lower seed in this situation, so not the betting favorite by any stretch of the imagination, but with a chance here to pull off the upset on what has been an incredible match, full of songs switching leaders right at the end. Really one of the highlights of the tournament so far. It's been a real treat. 5 seats separate these players overall in the entire group, so it all comes down to one song as we would expect.
All right, let's get into it.
No drums.
Apparently, Cat has not been able to hear me that well, so I hope this is at least a little better.
There's a lot of sustained points in there. Not a massive loss, though.
Yeah. So we've got an early drop there from Buckeye, getting these sustained points to Java. So we get started here. You won't see these numbers move very quickly on the solo indicator there, but it's going to be a real test of solo stamina.
Buckeye activating a little early. I think Java knows the path here.
Would be gigantic.
If Java knows the path and Buckeye doesn't, that's going to swing it so far heavily in Java's favor. Even if Buckeye happens to get more notes, has a higher note streak, it may not matter. If Java knows where to act, they can easily take this.
Even if he misses a whole bunch, it's like, yeah, there's a lot of points in here. Oh, Buckeye is taking it.
Goodness gracious. I mean, Buckeye's playing so clean and holds off the extra star power that Java had.
But, as you pointed out, that extra star power that Java did have, look how close he kept it, even though Buckeye was outperforming him left and right through that solo bit. Java still kept it close. We're going to have to see if that can hold throughout the rest of the song.
It's about 10K now for Buckeye, who still has not missed since that early drop. Speaking of drops, Java right there, unfortunate, but another unfortunate miss for Buckeye with the phrase.
And,
that's gigantic. That is absolutely huge. Absolutely huge.
Drop there from Buckeye, leaving the door open for Java, who cannot take the lead under that star power. Buckeye still hanging on to the lead. It is back and forth. Drops there from both on the star power phrases. We are now in just nowhere land.
Is crazy.
Happen.
I want to see. I mean, it's no secret that a lot of people want to see Java go to playoffs. Java for playoffs has been a couple seasons now. I'm hoping, personally, they're a little biased here. I'm hoping Java is cooking in the kitchen right now. Got some tips from Chef Bark, and is just ready to just absolutely slay this chart later on in the second half.
I think Chef Bark might have lost that match.
he didn't take every tip from Chef Carter. He took the good ones.
Well, another drop there by Jhava, unfortunately, under that phrase. Activation from Buckeye here, under a lot of strum notes. Drop there by both. Jhava holding on to the star power.
What is Jhava waiting for?
Yeah.
The BPM here is very slow. I don't know what Java's waiting for. I feel like a missed opportunity. A big missed opportunity.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it started to fall apart a little bit here for Jhava, who now activates. It's going to need to be a huge act from Jhava here. Drop there, Buckeye, while
like
Java's splitting notes. Drop there.
I think that activation for Java was personally a mistake. Now, again, I don't know the path, but look at the scores for one was 50K, whereas before it was at 10-15. I do think Java waited way too late.
Yeah, you can see the difference in the percentage of these solos, 92 to 88 right now. I mean, like, Buckeye just playing so clean right now. Okay, under the pressure, in the tiebreaker, really playing well right now.
Yeah, you don't want to call it too early, but this song is fairly consistent in its difficulty. With it being this much of a lead right now,
That's
I mean,
pretty
the solo's
good.
Finished. I mean, yeah, Java still did well on that solo. Don't get me wrong, but Buckeye is so far well and away playing better during this pick or hybrid, I should say.
I've noticed. I mean, Buckeye this whole set has had really good fret work, but they're dropping a lot of like really, really important, like high priority, like phrases and notes and activations that are giving Java with the pathing knowledge to catch up, like the opportunity. It's just like it's crazy close the whole way through. I think we could still see it swinging back in Java's direction in the solo.
I don't know, Darkwolf. I don't know if I'm inclined to believe that. I mean, anything's possible. You know, Buckeye could have a real bad string of like SP misses and notes misses throughout. But I'm right now, just from what I'm seeing, unless Buckeye really drops the ball, I don't know if Java can catch up. Van, thoughts?
That's true. I mean, it's going to take a lot of focus to make up a lead this big, but also that's a lot of star power to work with. If we're about to go into like a fast part of the solo here,
Java
would make a pretty big difference.
That's coming up. Be holding on there. Might eat a phrase though. I don't know for sure, but
eating the phrase. Okay.
Yeah, eating a phrase here. Unfortunate there for Java, who's looking to make up a gigantic deficit. Unfortunately, another drop there. Buckeye not forgetting how to strum well, because has been just ripping this entire song so far. I mean, little drops here and there under star power do in theory leave the door open, but
Buckeye getting the phrase. We're hitting at about a 100K overlap.
Yeah.
I
think you might be right on this one, Brad.
I think if there was any hope for Java to come back, and it was right there. There was a phrase that I just don't think you could afford it to drop, and now we're working a big difference. You want to see Java come back somehow, some way, but where is that way? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for Java, but if you're Buckeye, really feeling it must have felt good going into this solo tiebreaker, knowing that if you could just force the tiebreaker after being down 3-2, Buckeye able to come back, make it happen, and looking like we'll retain that second highest seeded player in that group for now. We still have a match coming up for both of these players with wins.
And one thing we have to consider is Buckeye still has more matches to play than Java, so even if Buckeye does happen to win the song and match, there's still no guarantee what's going to happen going forward. Something could happen where maybe Buckeye has a hardware issue, or maybe they just want out lose to somebody besides Wings. So there's still hope for Java. They just have to continue to work on things and play their absolute best.
And both players have really, throughout this song, shown the ability to hit some really tricky stuff.
Yes, they have.
It's been a consistency check, and Buckeye definitely passed with flying colors this time. A really, really, really strong showing on a tiebreaker here. Honestly, like, you won't see spreads in a tiebreaker like this very often. So this is a fantastic play here by Buckeye in such a crucial match with on-stream and seedings considered. Just really strong stuff from Buckeye.
I really don't have anything else to add to that. I think you're right in the nose. You know, as much as we talked about Java, Buckeye has just, in this song in particular, has performed exactly what they needed and more. I mean, the score discrepancy just says it all. Buckeye came to play, and they were like, look, you know, I'm here to make a statement. I'm here to show I want playoffs, and that's what happened.
There it is. The tiebreaker
Buckeye
victory for Buckeye.
Taking a very, very close set.
What a run by both players. You can see on Java's song sections stat screen, just every once in a while there'd be that big blob of notes missed that just kind of kept inching things forward for Buckeye, who did have a couple of misses under star power, a couple of drop phrases, but was able to stay consistent enough to be competitive and be strong throughout. Big win here for Buckeye. Fantastic match overall. Exactly how you want stream, the second half of stream to start.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's just great stuff. And we will have our players joining us shortly for a post-game interview, which I'm very interested to hear from both these players because, again, fantastic stuff. Must have been nerves through the roof on this one. So we'll be joined by them shortly. And as I say that now, we are joined by our two competitors, Buckeye and Java. Buckeye, congratulations on a huge tiebreaker win. Insane stuff by both of you, but congratulations. How do you feel going into tiebreaker?
That was nutty. We were joking beforehand, before we started. We were talking about how hype it would be if two Strum players played a solo tiebreaker, and then it actually happened, because of course it did.
Naturally.
Like, it was wild.
Yeah, that whole set was just insane to watch. There were so many just like awesome moments between you two.
Yeah,
I think something to point out too is that neither of us had remote highways on, so we had no idea how close it was for some of those songs. Like after all, like literally every strum pick, I was just like, oh my gosh! Like after the end of it.
No, that I mean, yeah,
blind.
yeah, it was incredibly close throughout. I know there were a couple songs that Java was able to take with more notes missed, purely based off pathing.
It's the Java way.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, honestly, being on it with the pathing, I assume you felt strong with the paths for everything and kind of knew that it would be your pathing that could really give you a serious shot at taking down Buckeye.
Well, in the strum picks, I figured my accuracy could be enough, but I mean, you saw on like, what was the one? Oh, we only played one hybrid, I guess, but yeah, I think on a couple of the strums, I had more misses on life controller for sure, and just because I flubbed the solo a little bit, and then yeah, I kind of knew my pathing would be just a bit better, but I know Buckeye's been pretty good on their paths when I've seen them in previous tournaments, so I wasn't fully relying on that. I knew I had to play really well.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, as far as pathing, like I just use 0-0, and then even then I just like change it a little bit to make it just easier for me.
Mm-hmm.
So like that's why it's like not 100% on usually, but
I don't really have any major questions. So what I have for either one of you two: have either one of you had a ball hop blast recently?
Oh my god!
Let me
Great.
tell you.
I'm gonna take the mic away from Brad. Sorry about that, guys. But that was a phenomenal match. If I'm not mistaken, you both still have your match with Wings. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, said it at the same time. Oh, look at these guys in lockstep. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm very excited to see both of those. Should make for very exciting stuff. But once again, Buckeye, congrats on a huge, very important win in terms of seedings, and Java for fighting till the bitter end with just unbelievably close matches the entire way. That was a lot of fun to watch, so I appreciate
that -3 to -19 win was just like, I've never seen anything like that in my life.
Can I just say too that so when Buckeye picked Nitrous, obviously like you all saw the score on Forgotten Trail. I was gonna lose that as soon as it went there. So I knew I had to win Nitrous, and I was just so nervous towards the outro because like I said, we don't play with remote highways on, and I actually cover my 1 and 2 on the score, so I had no idea what the score was. But I was so nervous that I activated early, hit everything. I think I lost like a good chunk of probably like 10K at least in that act, and I lost by less than 1,000. So it was really crushing to lose that based on just a nervous activation. But I mean, I'm so glad that this match happened though. Like this was as soon as
So
we went to
good.
tiebreaker, I'm like, yeah, I don't care who wins or loses. This was awesome.
It was hyped the entire way. Chat was really into it too. It was really awesome to watch. So I'm
No,
sure you
we'll have
guys
to
will
watch this
enjoy
back.
watching that one. Yeah.
I can't wait to watch this back.
Oh,
And might
yeah.
I also add, this is now my 12th tiebreaker.
Oh my god.
That's great.
We now for statistics purposes, how many of those have you won?
4?
Okay,
Maybe?
so actually, I think about what Brad guesstimated. He estimated you had 2 or 3
2 to
wins out
3.
of 10.
Yeah.
Let me like actually. I think it actually is 4.
Well,
Yeah,
I'll let
'cause
you
I've
get back into the
won-
lab and get those numbers for us because we do have more matches coming up. So
Yeah.
you don't
Yeah.
have to go home, but you can't stay here. But thank you very much for joining us. We do appreciate your time. And
Absolutely.
but yeah, no,
Thanks, guys.
in all sincerity,
thanks for casting.
awesome match. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Best of luck
Thanks for
moving
playing.
forward the rest of your matches, guys.
Yeah.
Yep, thanks for casting. GG's. Buckeyes, that was so fun.
GG's, man. Good match. Take care, y'all.
And as we move forward here, we've got our next matchup. We've got a 5 versus 6 seed. These matches are always very interesting.